Ashe, everybody. How's it been? It's been a long time, I know. I've been super busy. This right here is a oval chakra stone, as you can see. I put it on my head every now and again. It can become quite potent. You can start feeling that your first eye is being activated or reactivated or just connecting basically. And that's sort of what's the purpose of this. But also I had it on earlier on today, and it made me come up with an idea for some sort of technology. So let me just give you a look and then you can see. So basically this is, you've got different things here. You've got the flower of life in there. You also have the first eye, or what people call the third eye. These are coil rod conductors with a little sphere on the end. That's normally got something like mercury or something like that in there. Then you've also got this here, which is the copper wiring, goes all the way around and also throughout. This is the cosmic web, or omniversal web as I call it, which goes all the way around as well, connecting. That's also made out of copper wiring. Then there's this, which is the radiant leaf formation. So when you look at leaves and you look at their energy, it radiates outwards, and it's almost like following the shape of the leaf. So that's what I've done there, and it's in 4 points, but that will be on both sides. So if you basically flip this over, you'll see the same thing on the other side as well. Here in the center, because obviously it's representing an eye as well, that could either be another gemstone, or it could be a what would it be, like a piling or a compilation of copper in the form of an eye, the retina. The retina and the pupil. You've got the pupil, you've got the retina and all that stuff. They're all there together basically. Iris is on this side or that side. You can have them both. So that's what I've been doing with that basically. Now to get back to it, if you could imagine this same thing here, which is the chakra stone, right there in the center, that gives you a better grasp of what it might kind of look like. You can sort of see where there's potential for power there. You can see this is a potential power device of sorts. I haven't made it yet. I have a feeling though it might actually do something. I have no clue what it will do, but yeah. Also, these I think also could actually be made from gemstones, I suppose, as well. Maybe like a quartz crystal, a clear quartz crystal, or a white quartz crystal. Possibly. Yeah, potentially anyway. But yeah, all I want to talk about today, there's a lot going on. I haven't spoke about these things in a long time. I've not really been on here for a while, so. But yeah, I've just been watching basically. There's a lot been going on in the world. And I've been waiting. I've been really hesitant for some reason to even make a new video. I know it's been a while, but yeah, I decided to make one anyway. So there we go. Oh, by the way, take a look at this. You need to see my face. Have a look at this. It's so gorgeous. I'm literally at a roundabout right now, in a park, in Seven Kings Park, the most beautiful park in this area. It's like this park is a majestic park. Those who know and have watched my channel before they know that this is basically Seven Kings Park is on a ley line, which is basically an energy point of the earth, or a vein of the earth, if you want to call it that. And yeah. So what was I going to say to you guys? So basically, there's a lot been going on obviously recently, especially predominantly around in America. America seems to be the main focus of the news and stuff, especially with these quote-unquote drones. People are talking about orbs, spheroids. There's so many different names for these things. I would say it's timing, but it's more to do with placement. You've got to imagine that the government, or whoever is actually running this little game, they're privy to certain information, well, a lot of information, and whether we believe it or not, they believe it. So they are following certain historical texts, religious texts, whatever the case may be, to try and push this narrative forward, to make it come by quicker. There's a lot going on though. We have entered a mixed reality, a timeline in a sense, where obviously I'm one of the original people in that sense, from the original timeline. I do remember certain things, that they spoke about, like, to do with the Mandela effect and stuff. Which, if you actually think about it and you look at it, like, I'm always talking about logic over emotion. Like, if you look at it logically, and look at the time and the placement of everything, when these things actually started to happen and occur. And for those who know the channel may have actually seen me say or heard me say before that I've actually had an experience of this thing where it happened, and I could tell you the exact date and pretty much the exact time, I would say, roundabouts when it happened, when they first started this testing of this, the reality shifting tests, basically. I don't think they knew completely what the outcome would be, which is why we're having a merger of multiple, realities and stuff, where people remember different things and whatnot. And then literally you're seeing glitches and stuff, or reality changing or merging or whatever on camera, which I'm pretty sure some of you or most of you have seen already. There's so many videos out on the internet, it's crazy. Like, people are catching it all over the place. But we are in the time of revelations, or non-religious side of things. I'm not religious. Those who know me, obviously I'm spiritual, and I do respect religions, and I grasp what it's trying to say, but I don't believe that, especially from the Christianity side of things, because that's where I came from. I don't believe personally that Yahuwah, Jesus, or whoever you want to call him, wanted to be worshipped, and I don't believe that he is necessarily physically returning. I believe it is to do with the Christ consciousness, and a lot of people do actually start to believe this and see this as well, that it's to do with the Christ consciousness. That's exactly what's going on. It's not to do with a physical returning of Yahuwah, or Yeshua, or Jesus, like I said. It's not that. It's more to do with the Christ consciousness, and that's what can give rise to a revelation. Time revelations obviously can allow people to grasp more awareness of reality, the trickery, the lies, all the deception, all the things that's being pushed to the front now and being revealed, like I said, because it's the time of revelations. These are the things that are pushing forward awareness, and obviously will bring people more closer to that Christ consciousness. So that's what's going on in terms of that. So there is a merger, but yeah, like I said, I could bring you back to the exact time when I feel this thing happening because of my experience that day. It was a Christmas day. It was 2013, and December the 13th. No, it was not December the 13th, it wasn't Christmas Day, it was I think it was December the 13th actually. Yeah, December the 13th, 2013, around about 2:10, yeah, so 10 past 2 in the afternoon. And I walked up the road to go and get some Christmas stuff for my pups and, to have family members in the house. And I remember I was near the front of the counter, and there was this wave. It was definitely magnetic in nature, but some other stuff was going on as well. I could tell it was a global thing. It was, or if you want to call it global, it was a entire thing. It basically swept across our whole reality, and it kind of knocked me a little bit out of my suit, not completely, but not out, I wouldn't say out of my suit. It's almost like it semi-disconnected me from my suit, from my physical body. What they call a suit, what I call a suit. Obviously, love these things, whatever the case may be, look after them, but don't be too attached to them because they are just suits. We're immortal. We are everything, literally, but I'll get to that later. So basically, that knocked me out of my suit to some degree. I would say about 60%, and I started waddling back, like literally, like hardly had any control, waddling back and stuff. And it wasn't like I felt dizzy or anything like that. So I knew it wasn't nothing to do with. It wasn't nothing like It wasn't an effect of a sickness or anything like that. Like lethargic or anything like that. It wasn't nothing like that at all. It was more just to do with this magnetic wave or whatever this wave was that they done. I have a feeling that if we dig up deep enough, we might be able to find out that these people have actually done tests or some sort of test or whatever, hidden test on that actual date and around about that time as well. Like I said, 2013, mid-afternoon, about 2:10 in the afternoon, on the 13th of December. So yeah, possibly people, I don't know, whoever's those researchers out there, they can maybe look and research it and see. Yeah, but yeah, that's that anyway. So that's when I believe that started. But also, if you use logic over emotion again, and you'll start to realize that that was roundabouts the time when AI started to pick up as well, when they started to talk about AI, artificial intelligence and all this other stuff that they're speaking of now. These things are connected, by the way, because best believe that places like CERN and the one in where's the place, somewhere in America as well, I can't remember exactly where it was, but there's one also in America, like a smaller version apparently, and obviously other places around the world. They are using AI to help them with their algorithms and to help them with all these things anyway. They probably were the first people to start using those kind of things, It just makes logical sense, it makes sense, especially if they're dealing with such a powerful machine, that can potentially create black holes and, punch holes into different realities and, different realms and stuff, which supposedly they have, and I'm pretty sure they have. Then you have a thing called universal law, which I'm pretty sure some of you know about already, if not all of you. Universal law basically is them having to, or at least they feel they're gonna get rid of their cosmic karma by revealing it through, like sci-fi or whatever the case may be. And I say it, I'm talking about their plans, the things they're doing, the things they have done. They feel like they can get away with their cosmic karma if they tell us about the wicked things they're doing and all the evil plans they have, but it's still wicked and evil, so it's still kind of come back to them, regardless, it doesn't really matter. So it's pretty foolish of them in that sense. They're not seeing the greatest picture, which I will get to, like I said, which is us being everything on some scale, if you realize exactly how things work. I've spoken to you guys already about the speed of speed, and we'll get into that as well. Also the magnetic wars and things like that are going on, red versus blue, whatever the case may be. But for now, we'll go back to the drones slash orbs slash UAPs, what do they call it? UFOs. Like, there's so many different words for these things now. So the drones, as people are starting to clock now, which is nice. The drones are military based. Anything you can see basically that has, like, those lights that are like safety lights or warning lights, or they're just like aerial lights basically that you see on commercial planes, military planes, whatever the case may be. They're normally red, white and green. Sometimes you'll get a blue one, but they're normally those kind of colors. Anytime you see colors like that, they're generally going to be ours. Yeah. Then you'll have these, what they call orbs, which I call light beings or light vehicles or whatever the case may be. And what I was saying to you before about the timing and the placement of everything, like I said, these so-called leaders of ours, governmental and whatever the case may be, behind the government and whatever, behind closed doors, they are privy to information and also timings and placements. So they were aware that this was a time where these kind of things would start to happen. So they have to be able to try and control the narrative going forward so that they can gain from it. They can basically, continue to profit from it, basically, profit from everything, basically. And that's what they want. They want to control the whole narrative. And now we're hearing stories about them saying, we've got to control the skies and all that kind of stuff. And obviously everyone's worried now about it because this means more control for them. And like I said, anyone who's seen my previous videos would know I've described these people as a boa constrictor who will basically, every move you make, they will hug and squeeze and grip in tighter till they completely suffocate you and then try and swallow us whole, which we're not going to allow this time round, by the way. There's not going to be no great reset as they would like to see. And by the way, their great reset now is not going to be, they're not trying, it's an information war in right now, isn't it? Obviously they're trying to wipe people out and, do eugenics, all this other stuff through different methods and different, resources and ways, avenues. But it won't work this time around. We're here for a certain time. We're here because of this specific special time in the cosmos, if you want to call it that, in the omniverse, like in this reality, in this this experience. Yeah, we're here for a reason. That reason being to change the narrative that these people have put forward. So when I say change the narrative, I'm talking about us being conscious right now, us being more aware, more awoke, more, well, not woke in that kind of sense, but more aware. What it's doing is it's changing our quote unquote physical structure, but not on it's hard to explain. It's not, you won't necessarily see the physical changes, like let's say on my face or whatever the case may be. It's more of an internal thing. Science will prove, and science has proved that, our DNA changes, our cells, they die off, they adapt, they adapt till they die, and they do all sorts of stuff going forward. And that's how we are who we are, and then you've got things like, what would it be? You've got things like deception. So when it comes to deception now, it's one of them things where it's an energy, isn't it? So they're using this energy of deception to almost steer us in a certain path. What they've done is they've actually lied about who we are as a people, as humans. They've actually lied about what we are as well. Let me put it to you like this. And like I said, information war has always been, it's always been before First World War, Second World War, before this war we're in right now, which is the information war, or a cosmic war, if you want to call it that. There's always been this information war. Yeah, information in that sense is the key, like, and awareness obviously in that sense is the key. And the reason why I say that is because if you can hide from a people of what they really are, what their power really is, you know, what their potential is, all that stuff. Because we actually have unlimited potential, by the way, which is why we've had so many great resets in the first place. I know there's been surface level things, you know, like to control the masses, to, you know, control the narrative of energy consumption and, you know, distribution, and just basically control narratives, isn't it? But there's a deeper aspect to it. That's where the spiritual side comes into it. And the spiritual side obviously affects the physical. Like all of these different planes and realms and dimensions of us, they all connect and affect it with each other. They basically interact. They don't have to always affect each other, but they can. They have the potential to do it. And that's the main thing what I was talking about right now, is to do with potential. Our potential is endless, it's limitless. They know this. They don't want us to know this. They don't want us to be privy to it and to really embrace it and to, you know, to grow from it and to actually just become it, basically. The reason I say this is because I've had, and people might know this already, I haven't checked if they've taken off my channel or not, but I have had an experience where it's a natural DMT experience. Damn it, what me. And I basically traveled off the planet through the mental plane, in that sense, or spiritual plane, if you want to call it that. I remember being scared actually at the time of taking the covers over my head, because I covered over my head with a blanket and stuff to really get into the vibe. And I actually took off. No, I didn't take it off. I was scared to take it off, basically. But basically, had an experience of that, and I was traveling in increments of speed. And obviously, the first one would be sound. You know, it's the slowest one in that sense. So I went through sound, and I was traveling slowly off of the planet. Well, not slowly, but I was traveling off the planet. As I was approaching light, I got stopped by these beings, and they were negative beings. They were what we would call demons, or, you know, jinns, or whatever the case may be. They were these bad entities, and they was questioning me, trying to basically tell me to stop and get back. Like, stop, what are you doing here? How did you get here? You're not meant to be here, all that kind of stuff. You don't belong here, all that kind of stuff. And I said, no, this is my journey, and I'm going to do what I need to do, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I continued my journey. As I left them, I remember going over planes or planets, or whatever you want to call them, over the surface of these places where people be living, and they were all negative beings. And I was going faster and faster in increments, heading towards light, and basically punching them, all of these guys up, whatever it was. I was just punching them all up, basically, as I was breezing past the surfaces of these planes or planets or whatever. Got so fast that I ended up being visited by, or stopped by, another group of beings, but this was now beyond light speed. And before I go to those group of beings, the other group of beings, the negative ones, could only exist below and kind of just at the beginning of light, the light speed, light spectrum. They can't exist beyond there. They will just, they just can't exist beyond there, basically. They'll get like destroyed. And the ones that are beyond the light spectrum are normally the positive entities, you know, the ones that are at a higher frequency, which makes perfect sense in it. You know, sound is a lower frequency than light. So it makes sense in that sense how they're using frequencies and stuff, which can be put most at the lowest levels through sound. So you can imagine at night time people might hear ringing in their ears, and it's a high pitched ringing. That's probably some positive stuff trying to speak to you or whatever. I'm not saying always, you have to keep your guard up, but yeah, it probably is, because it's a higher frequency. If it's really high, I'm talking about. But yeah, so there's these kind of things that they're doing anyway. They know that we have the potential to do whatever. So when I met these other group of beings, I can't remember. I don't know what the conversation we had. It was a positive conversation, I know that much, and I knew it was for like another time or whatever the case may be. So I left it there. But then once I left them, I started to travel even faster. So now I'm way beyond the speed of light. And I kept on traveling, like going faster and faster and faster, and like very, very brief in increments. Smooth though, smooth as heck, yeah, like proper smooth. And then I basically got to the end of speed. And science will eventually realize this, but speed actually has a limit. And I call it the speed of speed. And I reached the speed of speed. As I reached the speed of speed, I literally I became the omniverse. That's the only way I could describe it. I became everything, all at the same time, the same place. It's like I was still. It was almost like, like even like religious texts like the Bible says, "Be still and know that I am God," and things like that. Like I was literally still, like, but I knew that I was everything. I knew I was everything. I was connected to everything. Like literally every time, where I'm talking to you right now, times in the future I've spoken to you, or I'll speak to you, times in the past where I've spoken to you, like other people have spoken to you, like it doesn't matter. Like literally I was everything. And that's what made me realize that, what does it mean to be perfect? Like, they talk about God being perfect, God being complete, right there. And you think to yourself, okay, well, if we look at something that's perfect and complete, it generally means that it goes through something, right? That's what it means. It means it goes through something. So it goes through levels where it can go up. Yeah, and that's what happens. Everything has negativity, everything has positivity, everything has all the in between as well. Yeah? And that's exactly what's going on. You've got the positive, negativity in between, what we call duality and things like that. Yeah? Like reality. What is that? That means that the omniverse, or the whole, or whatever the case may be, is complete. Therefore, it is the so-called evil, the so-called good, the so-called whatever the case may be. It's the completion. And what I've come to realize in that state, even though I could feel everything happening, like, from the good to the bad, like from the baddest to the best kind of thing, I could feel all of those things happening. It didn't affect me in that sense, like it didn't. And I think that's what it means by unconditional love. I think that's what they're sort of heading towards when they're talking about unconditional love. It's sort of like a thing where, I don't know, man. It's a thing where you're connected to everything, so it doesn't phase you, because it doesn't really. It's hard to explain. It's almost going to sound like life is trivial and doesn't mean anything, but it does. It's just, on the grand scale of things, there is still peace and control and power and love and just purity. Like, it's completion, proper completion. And I was just at peace. It was just amazing. The most powerful, most amazing thing ever that I've ever experienced. Yeah. Yeah, so, but that's that anyways. What else I was going to talk to you about? Well, we spoke about the drones, which I believe I told you enough about the drones. The drones are, like I said, military stuff. They're there to also, one, deceive us, obviously, so they can push their narrative, like I said before, to more control, like a boa constrictor does. PRS, basically, problem, reaction, solution. They create a problem, they wait for a reaction, and then they give us the solution, which is literally boa constrictor shit. Sorry, language. But basically, there's that. But then you've also got, like I said, the orbs, which are definitely beings, entities, whatever the case may be. They seem to only be defending themselves so far. So like I don't know if some of you have seen the video where the woman's filming at night time. Obviously, they seem to come at night time or whatever. I don't think they just come at night. I think people are just seeing them at night time. But anyway, what do you call it? If this drone from the left comes up, it's flying fast. You're like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. And it's flying and it's going. Oh, it's going close to it, and it's going close and going close. It goes round, and then it goes really close to it, and then it gets zapped out of the sky. Yeah. Why are you going to it for? Like, leave it alone. It ain't doing nothing to it. It's just floating around doing its thing. Like, it's not troubling anyone, innit? And we have to be careful because they're trying to push this fear narrative. Like it's an alien invasion. What have they invaded? If you wanted to think about it, let's do again back to logic over emotion. Yeah, if you wanted to invade the Earth, right? And people have said this before, and I completely agree. It's so easy, right? If you wanted to really take over the Earth in many different ways, you could either wipe us out completely, which I know they won't want to do. They definitely don't want to wipe out the planet. Or the plane, or whatever they want to call it. They don't want to wipe out Earth, which I call hearts, because that's what it is. We live on heart. Or on and in and over. But yeah, they don't want that. There's obviously ways they could do that. They could take a piece of hair or DNA or whatever for someone when they're sleeping from a saliva or whatever. Or, it doesn't have to be something so creepy. They could just go into a bar and take their stuff, faking themselves as a human or whatever. Go into the bar, when the person maybe be the bartender for a while. You know what I mean? Just like, now I've got your DNA on the cup. That's just one person's DNA, but it's human DNA, isn't it? So all humans are connected in that sense. They know this. We bloody forgot it. And obviously, like I said, these evil people are trying to tell us different. Like, we're not connected. Yeah, we look different, so we are different. But no, that's not the case. But anyways, that's another story. We don't have races, we have ethnicities and stuff like that, and even that is just, we're still human. That's our race. But anyway, so they try and push that narrative as well. And then on top of that, you've got the whole alien agenda thing, which they've been pushing from back in the DJs. Yeah, you've got all of that stuff going on, right? And then they're trying to push this is Boxing Day, yeah. So Christmas was yesterday, Christ Mass was yesterday, was yesterday. Even though we know that Yahuwah wasn't even born then, he was born in Easter, which is a springtime, which is also the beginning of the year. So, but anyway, that's another story. But yeah, so they're pushing this. These doors open, aren't they? The popes and all these the Roman people, these Roman Jesuits and all that stuff. They're basically pushing up these portals or doors or doorways and gates and whatever. And it's supposedly something they do every 25 years, every quarter century. Very interesting. But yeah. Because we do know that that Pope, and I'm going to probably upset people, but the Pope obviously is Antichrist. We know this. Half of them look demonic, to be honest. I'm not going to lie to you, they look like possessed or something. And then when you look at all the symbolism and the things they use, like the instruments they use, their clothing, their attire, what it all means, like it's, like I said, even if we don't believe in these things, the fact is they believe in these things. And they're doing physical things about it to make these things try and come to pass. That's the main thing. So regardless of if you believe in conspiracy theories or not, and you think conspiracy theories are conspiracy nuts, that is completely fine. But it doesn't matter because at the same time that you're thinking that, there are actually these people that are in power that actually do believe these things and are actually doing things about it. And so-called power, I will call it. So yeah. that's what I would say about that. We just need to be watching out for these people there, because they don't. The way I see it, no lie without a truth. Basically, there can be no lie without a truth. Everything you hear about cryptids and mythological creatures like dragons and giants and fairies, gnomes, werewolves, bloody zombies, vampires, you know, Bigfoot, Nessie, like, which is a plesiosaur, like all of those different things. Basically, they're all real. They all exist. It sounds crazy. I'm just saying it so blasé now, but it's the truth. And even if they don't now, they did at one time. But to be honest, nothing is new under the sun. Nothing's probably new over the sun either, to be honest. Yeah, everything has just always been. I think, but the thing that we're living in now is that it's been hidden for a long time, you know? When you look at things like the mud floods, which was another reset, you can see basically that there was, like, if all you got to do is just dig down. You dig down deeper. Let's say you start at a certain building that's got half of its windows and doorways like in the ground. So just keep digging, and then you'll start to see you'll go down far enough to see different civilizations, different life patterns, and also different time periods as well, you know, different eras. And it's really interesting because you see it in the difference in the rocks and sediment and the things they used, also the methods they used, you know, and how they used them as well. There's things they have now that they've seen that they can't even describe. They can't even tell what it is or what it was used for. I've thought about these things before. I think I might even have one in my book. Hold on, let me have a look. I'll have a look right quick. I'll put this stone away. I think I have one in my pad because I was watching it on YouTube, and it made me think about it. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know if I've got it here though, to be honest. Oh, okay, I do have it here. So this thing, I'll show you. Hold on. So this thing here is what they're talking about. I don't know if they found it in Egypt or whatever. My thoughts on it was that it's some kind of it's like a piece of like a turbine in a sense, and it can harness, like, let's say that's got a mixture of exotic energies, or I don't know what it could be, in one going in, and while this thing is spinning on a cyclone, then probably through that device or whatever, and it mixes up in there and then it releases out. That was my thing anyway. That's what I thought. And maybe that's how it might have been a tool to use to, because they found out it does make a magnetic field, which to me, if it is making a magnetic field, then that probably means that it can actually control this beam and all the energy and stop it from leaking out and radiating out, you know, obviously causing like potential damage to people or the surroundings. And that makes sense because you can generate a spin, which is a vortex in a sense, and then you've got these two. Well, it could be more than one. This is just my little thoughts. You've got these exotic whatevers there could be. Then it mixes up just like a cement mixer, but obviously a lot quicker. And while it's spinning, it's generating a force field of some sorts, magnetic field, and then shoots out a beam. That's just my own personal theory for that device that they found. I think it's really cool though. I can't remember what they call it though. I think it's quite cool. It's really cool. That was the first thing that came to my mind when I saw it. Yeah. But yeah, I can give you some updates as well, guys. Just on another story, I'm also making a electric motorcycle. Oh look, there's a guy on an electric. He's breathing, fam. You see him? Oh. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I'll be making one electric motorcycle soon, and I'll probably post some videos on that as well. Let you guys see those kind of things. This is the video for now, I think. I'm just going to leave it for here for now. It's almost 40 minutes. So I've almost done an hour. We've spoken a little bit, but this is just more like my introduction back onto the YouTube scene. I promise I will try. I will attempt, because my life has been so damn busy and it's so annoying that it's been so busy. I'm going to change that, by the way, guys, so I can have more time just to speak, and I think I'm ready to get back on it now. So thanks for your patience, by the way, and sorry for it took so long. But I love you all anyway. Peace, love, light, travel, adventure, awareness, prosperity. Yes, happiness, joy, productivity, and love. Love you guys. Ciao.